Hey everybody, this is the first part in a series of videos on creating a blog with Ycode. Now there are timestamps in the description, so if you already know something, you can just skip ahead. And if you know everything, well, you can just go ahead and watch the next video. But in this video, I'll show you how to structure your database and how to organize your pages so it's easier for you to later design the front end of your blog in Ycode. Now let's get right into this. Once you log into your project, just go ahead and go to the database area. And what we're going to do is create a couple of tables in our local database. Now, the first table name will be authors because we want to have multiple authors. Go ahead and click Create Table. Now, you can use keyboard shortcuts, but here I'm going to be using my mouse for most of the things just so it's easier for you to see. So for the authors, we have a name, and we're going to add another field. I'm going to call it photo, and this is going to be an image field. There we go. Create field, and let's go ahead and add some authors. Mora. Let's upload some photos. Let's browse, and if you don't have any photos, you're going to get this upload images button. And here I have a folder with all my blog resources, and I'm just going to go ahead and open all these images. And after they're uploaded, I'm just going to go ahead and choose Mora. She's the author for this one. Hit create, and let's go ahead and add another author. Let's go with Ignas. Browse, and again I'm going to choose Ignas. And what we're doing here is we're actually adding some content. So we're adding authors, categories, and the actual blog content. Now let's go with Andrew, browse, there we go, and create. So we created 3 authors, and now let's go ahead and create some categories. Let's give the table a name, categories, there we go, and hit create table. And now we're not going to add more fields. We don't need more fields. Let's just go ahead and add some categories. Let's start with H. What is this going to be? Health. Now guess what the next category is going to be. Is it going to be politics? Nope, not this time. It's going to be travel. Hit create. And what is the last one going to be? Guess. You guessed wrong. It's going to be hobbies. And hit create. I mean, I'm guessing you guessed wrong. Anyways, we got authors and 3 authors. We got categories, 3 categories. Now let's go ahead and add the content. And you can call this blog. You can call this blog posts or whatever you want. I'm going to call it articles. This is the last table. Hit create table. And there we go. Now, for the articles, we're going to use the name for the title of the article, and let's add a feature image. And this is going to be an image. And I like to call it image, the feature image, so it's easier for me to find later on when I'm going to be actually building out the blog, the front end of the blog. And I like calling the author image photo, so it's easier for me to, like I said, find later on. Even though we're going to see article image and author image, even though you're going to be able to distinguish the two, for me it's easier. So that's why I'm doing this. Feature image, create field, and description. This description, text, and this is going to be just a text area for the description. Create field. And for the content itself, we're going to use a rich text field, so we can add images if we wish, bold the text, etc. Rich text, create field. And now let's go ahead and add the categories field. And this is not going to be a text field, it's going to be a multi-reference field because we want to be able to add more than one category. And for the choice, we're going to use the categories table we created here. Hit create field, and we're ready to go. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use one author per article. So this is just going to be a reference field, not a multi-reference field. And I'm going to choose authors, hit create field. And there we go. That's good enough for now. Now let's go ahead and add some articles. I'm going to call this article first article. Featured image. I'm just going to use one of the ones that I uploaded. Let's go with this one here. The description. Now I'm going to go off screen just to copy some dummy text. I really want to have some content here. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up my notes. Copy paste some text. And I'm going to start with the content here. Paste it. Now I'm going to take 1 or 2 sentences from here and I'm going to use it for the description. There we go. Scroll down. Categories. I'm going to choose health, travel, author. Let's go with Mora. And let's hit create. Then let's go ahead and create another article. Second article. Feature image. Browse. This one. Description. Again, I'm going to go off screen. Copy some dummy text. Paste it into the content first. Copy some 1 or 2 sentences, description. Now, you see that when I highlight something here, you see this little menu that pops up. This allows you to bold the text, like I said, etc., etc. Now, if you want to add an image in this rich text editor, just go ahead and use this little plus button when you have an empty row, and then you can choose additional things like images, videos, etc. All right, let's scroll down. Categories. I'm going to go with travel this time. And the author, it's going to be Ignace. Hit create. There we go. And let's go with one more. This is going to be called third article. You guessed it. And just going to use similar image, just another color. And again, I'm going to go off screen to copy some dummy text. Paste it in. Use the first sentence in the description. Scroll down. Categories. This time it's going to be only hobbies. And for the author, it's going to be Andrew. All right. Create again. And we are ready to go. So we have our content that we can now play around with once when we're building our blog. But we still need a place that we're actually going to be building the blog. So let's go ahead and create some pages, some dynamic pages. I'm going to hit pages here. We have the home page and we can create some stuff there. But I also want a folder, and I'm going to call this folder authors. And for the slug, it's just going to be author. And the slug is, of course, a part of the URL. So this is my domain in Ycode. Of course, if you add a custom domain, you will have your custom domain instead of this one here. And the folder actually adds this slug here. So later, if I'm going to be adding authors or articles, it's going to be your domain name / author and then /, for example, Ignace, Mora in this case, or Andrew in the case of this video. I'm not going to change the parent folder. I'm just going to leave it as is, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit create. And then within this folder, we can have a dynamic page that will hold the authors. And I'm just going to leave the rest as is. Hit create. And that's what happens if you get it wrong. I'm not going to leave it as it is because I didn't actually connect the dynamic page to the database, to one of the tables. So I'm going to use authors, of course, and then hit create. There we go. I didn't need to add the root because the authors is enough. The data source is enough. Now I'm going to go ahead and click the home page again, add another folder, this time for the categories and the slug. I just want it to be category because I'm going to have category / and then health, travel, or hobbies. Create. There we go. Now hit the plus button and another dynamic page. This time it's going to be categories. And this time I will do it the proper way. Categories, of course. Hit create. Then homepage again. Folder. And this time it's going to be the articles. Article. And hit create. Again, this is just for the URL, and of course it helps to structure things a little around here, organize them. Now I'm going to hit the plus, dynamic page, and this is basically the little home for, in this case, the articles. Data source, articles. So all my articles will live on this page, and when I'm going to be designing the articles page, I will be using this page that I'm just creating. So create, and there we go. So now we can go ahead and go into the canvas. We can go ahead and click homepage. These are the folders, so we can unravel them, and we can start building out the homepage or building out the specific page for the authors, for the categories, and for the articles, which I'll be showing you in the next video. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.